but sleep TV.
How y'all boys doing?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Good.
I appreciate y'all for setting up this interview with me. It's
Appreciate
actually
it.
different. So far I've only done interviews with rappers and producers. Y'all run a podcast,
Mm-hmm.
Burn1Podcast. Where did that name come from? Did that come from smoking? Like, it had something to do with smoking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or y'all be lighting up every time y'all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of stole the idea from like Drankchamps, cause at the time that was a podcast that I was listening to pretty heavy with Noriega and
Yeah, shout out to them.
I forgot who he do his shit with. One of the DJs from like down in Miami or something like that. But they be getting lit on their show. Not like fried, but like they be drinking like a motherfucker on their show. They be getting wasted.
Toe up.
And that shit used to just be so funny to me. And so, I'm a stoner, so I was like, well, let me put my little spin on it.
Yeah. I mean, I be smoking, I ain't as like heavy on it, but I cheat from time to time, you know what I'm saying?
I feel you. Well, so let's get to know y'all a little bit. How did y'all meet? Like, how did y'all meet? Y'all friends?
Yeah. Been on him since high school.
Oh,
Yeah. I've been cool since freshman year.
Yeah. Long time.
Did y'all go to school here?
Yeah, we went to
Hillsborough.
Hillsborough, graduated 2013.
Yeah.
Word. Okay, so y'all graduated in 2013. How did y'all both come to the idea of like, man, let's start a podcast together?
What was this, back in like college?
Yeah, I think like freshman year.
Yeah, we roomed together.
Yeah, we was roommates freshman year up at MTSU.
Yeah.
But I think it kind of started with you because you're the one that really put me on the podcast. I mean, I had been hearing about it, but a lot of people really don't know what podcasts are for real.
Yeah.
So, you had put me on the tax season.
Man, tax season. Shout out to tax.
Man, free tax.
Man.
Be safe though.
Yeah, I was listening to tax season for a minute. I don't even know where I found him from. I think I found like out
Twitter.
about. Yeah, I think it was Twitter, but then I started seeing him on like, you ever heard of like the Brilliant Idiots podcast?
Yeah. But just to clarify real quick, y'all are talking about Taxstone, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Probably Twitter. That's why I used to see all this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he had a podcast. He's locked up now for like other stuff, but he was the first podcast I started listening to, and then I started listening to like Charlemagne and shit like that. And I mean, I was learning about this shit in school. I was a film and video major at MTSU when I was still enrolled, but I was just thinking, you can watch this shit on TV, but something about a podcast, just having to listen to it, you can listen to it doing whatever. Like, you don't have to just be watching it. Like, when you're watching it, you're like tuned in on it. I mean, I fuck with that, but like something about just being able to listen to somebody.
It's more accessible.
Yeah, it's accessible, and like, it's kind of like you can listen to other people's, be in the conversation when no one else is there. You know what I'm saying? So like, maybe not no one else is there, but you're just listening to someone's conversation. Like, and I think that's really cool.
I feel you. So basically, you know what, that's actually that's actually what I was doing. Like, versus if I had to, when I watch my interviews, I gotta like sit there and like, I just gotta watch the interviews, just because it's something physical. But like, when I was listening to y'all podcast, like, I don't know, I was doing so many things. I was just like, all right, I'll turn it on, and I was, just scrolling on Instagram or whatever, listening to it for about 3 minutes, and then I just put it down, and like, I think I had it on the Bluetooth and was just like listening to it around the house. So I get what you mean by that. You said that a lot of people don't know exactly what podcasts are. Like, what's your like kind of definition of a podcast? Like, if you could explain it in simple words to the people that's watching, and like give a good simple explanatory to the people that's watching a podcast.
What exactly a podcast is?
Yeah.
It's, to be fancy about it, it's more so just a conversation of people, of your ideas and your thoughts. You see how someone talks and how someone not just all kind of podcasts. I'm talking about our podcast. Podcast is just something you listen to. It's basically TV if you want it to be. But listening, it's just the radio that you can listen to all the time. But what it can be and what we want it to be is something that's like you can be in the conversation with someone and not expose yourself so much to say, but like just really get your thoughts off and be who you really want to be and see, and people can listen to that. Like, yeah, you can be in the conversation with just anyone, but what about two old white women from the other part of town, like, and how they talk? You can really get in on like people's consciousness and people's like way of thinking. Like, it brings people together in a sense because you're just seeing another perspective. And not like a perspective you don't necessarily agree with. It's just like, hey, like, I really fuck with that. I really agree with what you're saying. And, you know, I'm fucking this up, but you know what I'm saying?
No, you it's like, you know, I mean, I ain't mean like simple as in like a couple words. As long as you know, you explain it pretty well. I think I can get you.
Yeah.
So were y'all pretty close when y'all were in college, or did it like kind of grow close? Y'all kind of grew close as y'all came up with this idea of starting a podcast together?
Well, we were pretty close in high school, and then, because I mean, that's what led us to end up being roommates, because I ain't gonna just be rooming with anybody.
Yeah, so, I didn't want to just room with no random motherfucker. I know him.
So yeah, I was like, cool. So, I mean, we was already pretty cool. Yeah. From high school, but then once we lived together, that, you know,
it's a totally different story once you live with someone. Like, you have a different relationship with who you live with. So, you know, my brother right here, so.
Yeah, for sure. And then, like you said, now that we done invested a lot of money into what we doing now, we definitely got another type of bond going on there.
Yeah, financial bond.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what all equipment do you have to get for like starting a podcast besides like the mic and all that type of stuff? I know that can be.
I mean,
I've been looking at some.
Literally, we just had like the USB plug-in shit for the longest. Like the shit, like one of the little basic ass mics that probably cost like what? How much did you get it for?
Probably like $40-$50, maybe. Being generous with that.
Yeah.
And we started off that, and maybe a little more. Man, I may be underselling a little bit, but no. Yeah, we started off that and Adobe. You can get, or no, not even Adobe. What was we on? Audacity.
Yeah, we was on Audacity.
And so we was doing Audacity for a second, and we were doing this for a while.
Like, and it sounded so bad. It sounded so bad.
Like shit. And so we never put it out because like it really sounded like shit. But.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we recorded a few podcasts back before I had left, because I ended up moving out to Cali to play baseball at a little JUCO for a year. So we was actually recording podcasts even while I was out there, but we never put them out. But when I came back, that's when we got like serious about the shit.
Yeah. Because
No, you go ahead.
Well, no, it's like once he went out to Cali, I knew that was a totally different experience for him. Like, that's a crazy, like, different mode to go out, like, and move to a different state. Like, I knew that shit was, like, another step. Like, shit's crazy. And so I already knew he saw things that you would never see here. I've lived here forever. So I've been in Nashville my whole life. Like, I never lived in a different coast. So I knew living out in Cali was going to be, like, the next level for him alone. Like, and so he came back and brought, like, his experience and everything, like, is wild. I'm not saying he took anything from Cali. It's what he like brought back. That shit was like, yeah, I don't know. That shit is cool. Like, it was a different energy, I feel like, and made us grow a little more. Like, that shit was wild. I fucked with it, and then like we actually like really started putting this shit out. Like, that shit was like crazy.
I was just tired of sitting around not putting this shit out. Honestly, I was like, bro, it's time to do this shit.
I was honestly just
gotta get this shit cracking.
Yeah, it was more of a hobby. So for me, like, that's one reason why we ain't really, like, in my opinion, started putting it on video, because it's still much like a hobby to me. Like, and I like the podcast aspect of it. Like, it's a cool little thing. You can only listen to it. Like, you gotta be tuned in on here. Yeah, you can watch it, but it's like, yeah. If you get a podcast that has no visual popping, I get it. You need visual these days.
Not always. Though.
Not always, but for the most part, you know what I'm saying? You need visuals these days. And go listen to that shit. Like, it's kind of like mysterious. You know what I'm saying? Like, go listen to that shit.